For all of these destinations, typically in a website or a web app that we want to send data to, these are instrumented specifically and individually on the website or in the web app. So that means we have to include some type of SDK or network call to Salesforce, Google Analytics, Amplitude, and Snowflake. Those can all look different, they can all load their own specific libraries, and they're all going to entail a separate HTTP network request to those destinations. So instead of instrumenting all these separately, today we're going to talk through instrumenting all of these as an identify call when a user signs up. So we're going to track a user sign up event, which is going to be one singular event that we can instrument on the RudderStack SDK. And at the end, we want to have all of that in all of these destinations. So we want it in Salesforce, we want it in GA, we want it in Amplitude, and we want it in Snowflake, which is our data warehouse. And then eventually, we like it in Customer I/O as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate all of these integrations in our app. We're going to take all of the code out for those. We're going to implement just the single RudderStack SDK, and we're going to send one single event, so one SDK, one network call to process all these events to the downstream tools. The other powerful thing that this gives us is that by instrumenting just a single event, we're able to put the power back in our team's hands of how they want to handle these integrations. So if marketing wants to add a tool or replace a tool, or product wants to change a tool, they can do that from within their RudderStack dashboard, and we don't have to deploy new SDKs and add bulk, slow down our site, and cause performance issues by adding those additional integrations. Or if we want to change and completely use a different tool, we don't have to go in and redeploy code to do that. So when we call this singular event, once we've integrated the RudderStack SDK in our website or web app, we call this event. The SDK is going to give us some free information as well. So it's going to collect some data around the context of that user. It's going to collect the user agent, the locale, different traits about that user's device, where they're from. And then it's also, the SDK is also going to give us some niceties in that any traits that we add to a user through an identify call are going to be automatically persisted into the subsequent track and page calls. So we'll have all of that information for free in downstream tools for those subsequent calls, and that'll be treated differently by all these downstream destinations depending on their use cases and what the information that they need from the customer data that we're sending to them. So we also have, besides the client-side JavaScript SDK, we have server-side SDKs that can be used and an HTTP endpoint in a case where we don't want to use a client-side SDK. So those may be for high-value conversion events that are from the back end, things that are computed on whether it's sign-ups or user actions on the server side of things, or just bulk importing data from certain user actions that exist primarily in a server setting, or even to avoid events that are being blocked by ad trackers or by ad blockers. We also have mobile SDKs for mobile apps. So if you are using an iOS native app, an Android native app, a React native, Flutter, Unity, those apps have SDKs that can be used as well to ingest data from those other sources, again, into these same downstream tools without having to set those up separately or instrument them specifically within your app. So just to recap on what we've done here with the SDK, we're going to eliminate all 5 of these integrations, which is going to allow us to eliminate some library code, some additional JavaScript code and bloat on our website. It's going to speed our site up, increase performance and SEO, and just simplify the whole implementation for our engineering team.